And now our health segment for today, and Olivenhete speaks to a surgeon about a particularly troubling yet completely avoidable dental condition. Take a look.
Hello and welcome to our weekly health feature, and today we are going to talk about oral health, but oral health is wide. Today we are going to talk specifically about gingivitis. Gingivitis is a gum disease, and today we are going to hear more about the symptoms, what are the causes, who are the people who are at risk of having this disease. We are currently at Jubilee Dental Clinic to talk about gingivitis, and today we are joined with Dr. Michael Kagoda. He's a dental surgeon. He's going to take us deep into this topic and explain us more about gingivitis. He's going to tell us about the cause, the symptoms, and how this disease can be prevented. Before we start more on the symptoms and everything, we'd like to know briefly, what is gingivitis?
Gingivitis, in other terms, is what you would call inflammation of your tooth gums. And when we say inflammation, we mean your gum should have one of the following characters. It could be swollen, it could be itchy or painful, it could be dusky red, not the usual red. Some people have red gum, but when it's dusky red, it's more like scarlet red. Bloody red. And then it could also easily bleed when you touch it. Let's say you bite on a sugar cane and it's bleeding, or you wake up in the morning and there's blood on your pillow from your gums. Yeah. So when it has one of those characters, yeah, we call it gingivitis.
Before we go to the cause of this disease, how common is gingivitis and who is most at risk of getting this disease?
Surprisingly, gingivitis is quite common, and almost all of us are candidates to having gingivitis. But there are people who are more at risk, so there are risk factors to it. People who have poor oral hygiene practices. You'll find that is very common with your adolescent boys. Your boys who are 9, 10, 12, they don't like cleaning their mouth very well. They are very high risk of gingivitis. People who are older in age, people who are 45 and above, very high risk factors, risk patients of gingivitis. People who have hormonal changes, like let's say pregnant women, when there are changes in their hormonal balance, or people who are in their menstrual cycle, the gums become very sensitive to microbes, so they're high candidates of gingivitis. People who have low immunity, for example, people who have HIV/AIDS, people who have diabetes, people who have cancer, or people who are on certain medications, for example, people taking antidepressants, people taking medications for hypertension. Those are at a very high risk of getting gingivitis.
Can gingivitis lead to other health problems? And if so, what are they?
So when we say, like I explained to you, the character of gingivitis, when your gums are bleeding, it's a sign that the blood is coming from your blood system. It's a sign that your capillaries in the mouth, the small blood vessels, the smallest, are open. That's why blood is flowing to your mouth. But what caused them to open there are microbes multiplying from poor oral hygiene in the mouth. So this means those same microbes can easily enter those capillaries and are into your blood system. So research has been done recently, and when your mouth is a constant source of microbes, they have related those microbes to many other diseases that are general. Respiratory diseases, those are diseases in your breathing system. It's been related to diseases of the heart. Yeah, like microbes come from the mouth and they constantly seeded into your blood system and end up in your heart. You've heard of diseases like bacterial endocarditis. Those are diseases of the heart. Those are commonly related to what's in the mouth. So there's a lot of diseases it is connected to, because now you have a constant source of microbes entering your system.
What is that hygiene that we should follow? how many times should we brush our teeth,
Okay.
how can we brush our teeth effectively, what are the methods?
Okay, so when we say oral hygiene, it involves toothbrushing, it involves flossing. That's what you can do at home. The brushing should be at least 2 times a day, in the morning and in the night before bed. The most important time is the night before bed. Because the reason you and I have a smelly mouth in the morning is because as you're asleep, your mouth is not active. So the protective effect from your saliva is not there. So those microbes multiply much faster. So at least 2 times a day you should be brushing, but you can better it by brushing after every meal. Yeah. And then when you go to brush, take at least 2 minutes. You shouldn't be rushed. At least 2 minutes. You should spend 2 minutes brushing. Try to brush all the surfaces of your teeth. Inside, outside, top. Yeah. And then flossing, floss at least once a day.
If you allow me, what is flossing? Because sometimes people may get lost.
So usually floss comes in something like this. So it's technically just a string. Okay. You pull that, break a piece, then you just roll it on your fingers. So this string you slide in between your teeth. Slide in, run along the surfaces of the teeth and then pull out. Usually if you've eaten anything and it's stuck in your teeth, as long as you pull out, it will come out with all that stuff. So that time before you brush, the night time, it's important you begin with your floss to remove all that food that's in between your teeth. Your toothbrush usually never goes in between your teeth. So this pulls out everything in between your teeth. Then after that you can do your toothbrushing.
We are giving you some good tips on how you can keep your mouth clean or how you can maintain your oral hygiene. Before we sum up today's interview, we do have a picture here. If you would explain more about this picture and why is this person not having teeth here? Is it because of gingivitis? You're going to explain more and you're going to tell us if gingivitis can also cause tooth loss.
Yes. So in worst case scenario, gingivitis causes tooth loss. But this is one of the ways it can lead to that. You see the level of bone he has there? So when you have gingivitis, the constant irritation makes your bone levels drop and eventually your gum follows your bone. So you end up with more root showing in the mouth. And naturally the roots are a bit rough than what the part of the tooth that shows in your mouth, which is shiny. So those easily attach more microbes. And then instead of gum disease, now you have decays, tooth decay on your roots. That's how you end up with a lot of caries, and you end up losing teeth. When you're there, you need a lot of artificial restorations, which is quite expensive.
So we should tell people that they have to check early for these diseases.
Prevention is always cheaper than trying to treat.
Which is good. So this is all that we had for you today, and we were talking about gingivitis. I hope this information was productive and beneficial to you, and we really think that you are going to take care of your oral hygiene because it is really essential. Thank you very much for following. My name is Olive Nete.